Yeah, I suppose I would have been about 5, and Dad was working at the boiling down mills, which was run by his sister. And Mum took his lunch down one day. Eddie was a little baby in the pram. Norm would be, 2, and I'd be 5. I barely remember it. Anyway, Mum was walking through the mill towards to deliver Dad's lunch to him, and all of a sudden there's dreadful screams, and Norm was sitting in a little gutter, a channel, and the tap had blown off, and out come all this boiling liquid from the boiling down of the animals, which they turned into manure finally. Anyway, he was sitting there and burnt from the hips down to his feet. Poor little fellow. They rushed him to the Homeopathic Hospital in Melbourne, and the doctors didn't know exactly what to do to cure him, so they hung him up by the hands and shoulders and grafted unborn lambskin onto his hips, his legs, his feet and his ankles, and it all healed up wonderfully well, except his ankles, and his insteps was a little bit knotted, the skin was knotted. But apart from that, he came out of it real well. Although the doctors, when Mum went to collect him from the hospital, they said, "You're very lucky you're not taking home a little idiot with what this child has been through." My aunt, who ran the boiling down mills at the time, she said to Mum, "Tell him that he got scalded with corned beef water." And that's how that story ended, sadly. Another little thing about poor Bert. So when he was about 3, he had the bandiest legs, I believe, but I can't recall, but I believe that he was so bandy he could barely walk. But one day, Pop took him out on his... Pop used to have this dray, working for the boiling down mills, harking back to that again. I think he had a dead horse on the dray, and he took Bert along for a ride on the dray with him. When they stopped, he got Bert down off the top of the lorry, and he walked around the back, and the horse back was a horse-drawn lorry, of course. The horse back and run over Bert and broke both his thighs. So he was in hospital for several months with these broken thighs in plaster. And when Mum used to push him around finally so you had a long pram where you could lie right down in it like a cot on wheels and get pushed around the streets in it. And he was in that for several months until his legs healed up. And when they healed, he was quite straight. So that was one good thing that came out of that accident.
What hospital was he in?
In the Homeopathic Hospital was the only hospital Mum knew at the time, I think.